Ferk? Hi, Ferk. How you doing?
How are you?
Oh, I know you, right?
Thanks, No, you did.
So what are you guys going to do? Approve another pipeline? Is that the game? You're going to approve another pipeline and then expose us to the dangers so that we can be killed if there's a leak? So have you not approved any pipeline in the past 5 years? What would you say?
There's a process and it takes time, so I guess typically the pipeline won't get approved during pre-filing.
Yeah.
So you don't. So by the time it gets to the commission, they've met a lot of the requirements there.
I know that's the excuse everybody uses. They meet the requirements. They know what to do. And meanwhile, we're exposed now to the third pipeline that's like 32 inches. I have friends where they have 3 pipelines being proposed above their homes. Would you live next to that? You would? Put your kids right near there? Your family? Hi, how are you?
Good.
Well, all I can say is I hope you guys don't approve this pipeline and you don't approve Constitution.
Well, that's up to the commission. There's 5 commissioners appointed by the
Right, so it's not you guys, right? I know. But I hope your commission doesn't approve it, because we're being exposed to deadly force. Even though you may not agree with me.
Yes. Do you wish to file your comments with us tonight?
Yeah.
We have some comment forms. You can fill them out tonight, or mail them in, or file your comments online. And we also have our mailing list here if you wish to be added.
They already did a like civil survey and they go on. So what happens next is that they have their own environmental biologists and cultural folks. So they'll come through, they'll have like a biological team, usually it's 2 people, that'll come through and they look at wetlands, birds, all
Am I able to get that?
Yeah, they should. I know it's part of their business.
I don't like the word should.
Well, that's what they're supposed to do. You know, that if not, you can tell us.
Because when they did that initial survey, now that's just that state written. Yeah, get something else. I got cookies over here. Okay. All right.
Hi, Miss Solar.
I got a dream and I don't know where you're going to meet. They didn't really break the camera.
This map is so old.
7, 8 years old.
So
Their house isn't even here. And the pipeline.
who are you? Are you on this map?
This is his property.
Oh, yeah?
This is
Next to
mine.
Merle.
Oh, you're next to Merle?
You know John and Jack and Helen.
Oh, Jack, I'm Vera. Hi.
I know her.
You do? Okay.
Everybody knows her.
I do?
We went to their lake house.
I know, but I don't remember how he looks, exactly.
Their house is right here.
Yeah.
But it's not on this map. Because the map is like 8 or 10 years old.
So what's the good of this map then? They can't even get up-to-date maps? They're so cheap?
He said they're working on it.
They're working on it?
Now the other thing I want to see.
You didn't see Alex by any chance?
Mr. Watkins here is in operation, so he can help you out with your pipe thickness question.
Well, my original question was, will you be using different quality materials and different operations based on the classes that it's going through? This is a class 1 area.
There's class 1, 2, and 3 areas. You right, absolutely.
Class 1 area, how can we get some idea of the differences in the materials that you're using?
The materials will all be the same. Okay, there will be different thicknesses. But the quality of the steel, the tensile strength,
Thickness is so how can we get that information?
that's all going to be developed through engineering once the FERC filing is gone through. That hasn't even been laid out.
So that will
This is still in the early stage. Oh, absolutely.
The other thing is,
And it's all public knowledge too. Just like our existing pipeline. That's all public knowledge.
it's public knowledge, but people don't really pay attention. It's not something that's in a TV commercial.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm local operations. My office is right outside.
and also with the maximum /S and location. But
Oh, hey there. How are you? Good. Good. I didn't see Alex though.
Oh, I didn't know he was coming.
Yeah, he's coming. Yeah.
Constitution, they're going to. Yeah, they say when they're not going to protect your hair, making your product.
No, they're
Over there.
Yeah, they right over here, and you on this side.
How are you doing?
Good.
You're not photogenic?
I don't want to be photographed. That's
Oh,
all.
okay. I saw you at the last one, I
Yeah,
think, right?
yeah,
Sakar-
that's right.
Skohari. Hi there.
I don't even let my wife take pictures of me.
Really? Oh, you gotta start something new, you know? It'll be like a later life experience.
Yeah, I don't have. You know how you're supposed to have a good side and a bad side. I don't even have a good side. So
You know?
that's why I just don't.
Oh, you're a nice looking man, believe me. Do you know what is your expertise?
I'm right away.
Right away.
Land agent.
Oh, land agent.
Yep.
Yeah, it would be existing. We would have to go on.
Do you know who might know about steel or
About what?
about the steel pipes and how thick they are?
How we doing?
Yeah, that can over there.
Have you done
Back there? Thank you.
All right. All right, good deal.
Oh yeah. I don't know what's up. You got a little warning? Is that what happened? Did you get a little warning from him?
Oh, he's my land guy.
Oh, he's your land guy?
Yeah.
Okay, just wondering, do you know what kind of steel they're going to use? Hi, Stacy. Do you know what kind of steel they're going to use in our area? Because we're can't think of the word right now. Class 1.
We haven't determined the class location of the area yet. We're actually in the process of doing that.
So you haven't determined what our area is yet?
Oh, we have an idea.
Right.
It's not official yet. We
But-
still have guys going around counting.
Well, let's say I know from the previous pipelines we're class 1. So what kind of steel would you use for class 1? How thick?
That has to be. There's a lot of factors that go into that. I'm sure you're aware of the calculation how you determine wall thickness.
No.
You know how, well, there's a formula. If
Okay,
you go
great.
to a website, go to CFR 192, and you can Google wall thickness. So there's a lot of things that go into, a factor in pressure, class location that you're referring to, the strength of the steel, diameter of the pipeline. You plug it in, it determines the thickness. So I can't tell you off the top of my head right now what the thickness is, but
So
there is
what's-
a minimum thickness.
Minimum thickness. And is it less thick for class 1 and then it gets thicker with class 2 and 3? Do
Not
you know that?
necessarily, because
No?
it depends on many factors. So if the pressure in one location is lower than the pressure in the other location, that's a factor. Yield strength, like I said, the strength of the pipe, diameter of the pipe. So there's a lot of things. Although in this area, most of it's going to be 30-inch pipe.
30-inch pipe
this is
in
30-inch
New Milford?
pipe.
I thought we were like 32-inch or something, no?
No, it's 30-inch pipe. This is 30-inch pipe right here.
But we're over here. I'm not up there.
I don't know.
We're in Pennsylvania, aren't we? Oh, this is Pennsylvania. right here.
This whole line right here is 30-inch pipe.
That's 30-inch?
Yes. Down here is 36-inch pipe.
36, and that's going to
And you
cross.
can see down here
This is going to cross our county also?
Well, this is existing. If you,
Existing?
Yeah, you see this legend here?
Oh,
the black
okay.
line indicates that it's existing.
Okay.
So what we're proposing to do right now is installing 36-inch looping. Do you know what looping is?
It means what? Tell me again.
It's just you're placing it adjacent to
Adjacent, like parallel?
existing pipeline. So we're looping here, and this is greenfield. That basically means you're putting pipeline through virgin land.
They're what?
Virgin land.
Okay.
Right here. Although.
Means there's no other pipelines there?
Well, as of now, there is none, but
I'm sure
you've heard.
others will come.
I'm sure you've heard of the Constitution pipeline.
Right.
So
That's going to be paralleling that area?
we're expecting them to be in service prior to us installing it. So
Right now they're delayed because of all the opposition, in New York. So we'll see how soon they can be in operation.
I'm not privy of that information.
You don't know there's lots of opposition?
Oh, I know there's a lot of
Oh.
opposition, but I don't know their timeline. I'm not sure. I don't know what they're going through right now.
And then there's how many compressor stations along this part?
For us, there will be 3.
So show me which
3
one.
new ones.
3 new ones?
Yes.
One?
One, 2, and 3.
3.
Yes.
So there's one in the New Milford area, in this
Correct.
area?
That's correct.
But you don't have an address yet, or do you?
No, we don't.
And like, what's your specialty?
I'm a project manager.
Project manager?
Yes.
Okay, and then what else can you tell us as far as, is it on schedule at this point?
As far as I know of.
It is? And what else can you tell us then about the project?
I can tell you anything you want. If I know it, I can answer it. If I don't, I'll do the best I can, or I'll find someone who can answer it.
Do you know anything about the compressor stations? How many horsepower they are?
Yeah, that's just right here.
Okay, good. Let me see that.
If you look at this map right here, number 31 is the one near us right now.
Right, number 31.
This is 31 right here. We call that the supply head station, and that's at 32,000.
Okay, and do you know how many compressors that would be?
Right now we are looking at 2 Mars 100.
2 of them?
Yes.
To make 32,000
Yes.
horsepower?
Right.
And then the second one.
And these right here, 30,000. I forgot which kind of compressors.
And this one, 32.
That's 30. That's 32. 32 and 33 are both at 30,000.
Oh, so they're all 30. 32.
The first one's 32.
30.
30 and 30.
30 and 30 horsepower. 32, 33. All right, so those 3. And then you have some that are 80,000.
Oh yeah, those are on the east side of the project. We refer to it as the east side. That's east of Wright.
East of Wright.
Yes.
Okay, east of Wright, and that's going into Massachusetts or what?
Well, yes. You see the line here. It goes into Massachusetts, and then it goes into New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. So those are going to be a lot bigger. So that means more compressors, or what would you say?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I'm not too familiar on the east side of the project. I'm more on the west, but what you're saying sounds correct. There will be more pipeline, more pipe here, more flow. So yes, it will be bigger diameter pipe. We're looking at 36-inch right here.
36-inch on the whole east side?
Yes, all this purple line you see right here, that's 36-inch pipe. You can see it down here.
So what does it show?
You see the.
Oh, I see the diameters
here.
here.
Right to Drake it.
Yeah.
And you can see that it's 36 inch. And there's brochures up there.
Also, I've seen those, yeah. And then I was wondering if they have like 80,000, why do they need such big ones? Is it much more pressure that they have to use or compress?
You know, we have hydraulic modeling, so we have a engineer in the office, and he actually has a program he uses, and he puts in pressure, pressure, flow rate, all sorts of different criteria, and that program tells us how much horsepower we need at various locations. So I don't know how much detail. I don't do that.
Now, what about on this side, the west side, where
they do the same thing?
Do you know what else they're doing on the sites as far as besides compression at the stations? Are they doing any kind of refining of the gas?
Oh no, we just transport the pipe.
Is there any kind of like brine tanks there, condensate? So do they remove any liquid in the compression?
We will have at the ends of each pipeline, we'll have what we call pigging stick.
Oh, pigging.
Pig traps. So those will clean the pipeline. We'll do that every X amount of years, and if there's any condensate or any kind of liquids or any kind of debris in there, and then we'll clean it out, contain it, and we'll dispose of it accordingly. Now at each compressor station site, there will be filter separators. There will be some
separators. And then will there be condensate tanks to get some of that?
Most likely we'll have some condensate tanks in the areas. But we expect the gas to be dry. In this area, so the condensate tanks we put in there, it's for.
You expect it to be dry because it's coming processed already?
It's processed.
From Pennsylvania?
Yes. They have to meet our pipeline spec before it goes into our pipeline. So.
Yeah, because we have I'm in this county, and we have 40 compressor stations so far, and they just approved 41, and we usually have dehydrators on the stations.
Okay.
So they're processing more. at those stations.
Yep.
So that's why I'm wondering how much you need over here. All right, well, I think that's good for now. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
And your response.
You have any other questions?
Not yet, but I have to think some more. I'm talking about compressor stations and how many in New York. There's going to be at least 3 new ones.
Yeah, I had a question about compressor stations.
Yeah.
You're the right person.
Well, I can attempt to answer. There's another person that knows more than I do, but there's actually more than 3.
There is?
Here's New York. Well, on the project, here's 1. This one I was telling you about. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
But that's is that still, that's not New York, or is it still
It's
New
in New York, yes.
Oh, it's still New York, so there's 4.
Before it goes into Massachusetts.
Okay, so there's 4. So that one, number 35, is 90,000 horsepower. So that's a really big one. It's about 3 times the size of these other ones, which are 30,000 horsepower.
A lot of work cleaning up after all those horses.
So what were you thinking?
My question was, there are 2 that are real close together here, right? Why most of these are spread out about, I don't know, there's no scale on them.
There's no scale. I wonder how many miles.
There's
a scale right here.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, I was telling her.
30 miles. Oh, it's about 30 maybe?
In our company that actually does hydraulic modeling, so he inputs the various information into the computer, pressure, flow rates, etc. And it tells you where you should put compressor stations and the horsepower, and there's various scenarios, so we obviously pick the best one we can. But this one, in this case, the very last one, the reason you're asking why it's so close to this one, well, the purpose of this compressor station, you can see the pressure down here. Let's see, well, you can see this little footnote right here, the little star asterisk. Excuse me. But we need a compressor to bump up the pressure so we can get into this pipeline, because this pipeline's already at a higher pressure.
Oh, okay.
So we're coming in. Excuse me. We're coming in at 1440.
Do you need a drink? Should I get you something?
No, I'm okay. We come in at 1440, then we need to actually have a higher pressure because the pipeline up here is actually close.
That's part of an existing pipeline?
Yes, there's an existing.
Okay,
so obviously we need a higher pressure to push the gas into it. So that's the reason why we have that compressor station.
Number 33, you mean?
That number 33, right here.
To bump it up.
To bump up the pressure?
Yes. You can see the footnote down here. Right. You see it says MAOP, LOP between Troy right and 69. So that's referring.
So how high are they going to bump it up? Do we know?
Well, it's designed up to 1600.
Oh, so it's like 14 to 16.
It can operate at any pressure lower than that. So it just has to be at a higher pressure so that we push the gas into this line. Whatever their pressure is, I don't know what that. It depends on operating conditions.
So the Constitution pipeline, just the only place it shows is like here. Are these running right along?
Yes, actually, this is an outdated map. Yeah. We updated the routing. You can see here in Pennsylvania. Yeah. Well, on this map, there's 3 deviations. Here's one, there's the second one, and here's the third one. The first one right here, we actually went ahead and co-located with them. So at the very beginning, we did, you can see this little deviation here. Yeah. We routed that way, but now we changed it to co-locate with them. Same thing up here near Schoharie. We were running east of them, but now we moved our pipeline, so we will be co-locating with them.
Yeah. So you make a deal with the other company then?
No, it's not a deal. We placed it next to what we hope to be an existing pipeline, Constitution.
So you're not trying
to minimize the impacts.
No, I understand that. I'm just thinking of the easements. I mean,
we're going to have separate easements.
Oh, okay.
They have their easement. We have our easement. Gotcha. We're just alongside each other. Actually, we're parallel. Right next to each other.
So you getting any decent answers? Any clarifications?
Yes, I'm getting a clarification of deny. It's not our problem.
What's not their problem?
The whole idea of the pipeline. I was trying to get some information on the compressor stations.
Yeah, we're talking about that now. All the compressor stations right here.
Yeah, well, guess what? Here's the end result. Kinder Morgan, these people, what they'll tell you is
Yeah.
they don't have anything to do with the gas. Their compressor stations are just compressing, no dehydration.
That's what they told me.
And no processing. Well,
They
then
said
I
it might be
said,
a
but
little
then-
bit of processing because there's condensate tanks
Then the
there.
question has to be, then where are you getting the gas from? Are you telling me you're not getting any gas from this area to feed that line?
No, it's from our county. It's all from Pennsylvania.
Wrong.
That's what they
You're
told
not following.
Yeah.
That's right. It's from all over the county, but before it enters that pipeline, it has to be processed and dehydrated. So who's building those compressor stations?
I don't know if that's the case. They told me it's
is
already
the case.
processed. It's coming out of our compressor stations and transmission lines and going straight to theirs. It's already processed.
That's not true.
Why not? That's what they told me now.
Because
Two
you
places.
can't put gas in a transmission line until it's market ready. It doesn't come out of the ground market ready. So either
No,
we're
I
going to
know.
have a lot more processing plants,
Huh.
but it's not
Because
their
they're telling.
processing plants.
That's what he's telling me, and a whole bunch of others from the other place too.
That's because they don't take any responsibility for that. Whoever buys capacity on that line, it's an open line,
Yeah.
which means anybody can feed it. But whoever feeds it is then responsible for the compression and the processing and the dehydration of the gas.
Before it gets into that line.
Yes.
Right. Well, that's what they're
so
telling
if
me.
that gas is coming from all over Susquehanna County, that means more compressor stations with processing and dehydration.
Do you mean they can't? Well, that's why they're adding one in your area.
Not, but the one they're adding is only for compression.
The one in New Milford?
Yes. The one they're adding, they're not using the CDP, any of the CDPs. The one they're adding is only for compression.
Is that what you found out? Yeah.
Let me finish. Because this company doesn't extract gas, they don't sell gas, they don't market gas. All they do is move the gas. So they are not responsible for the processing of it.
Yeah.
The people who buy the space in that pipeline are responsible for the processing of it.
Right.
Okay? So that means what they'll tell you is, no, we just need one compressor station to move the gas at a certain pressure, right? To keep it moving, and that's what this is for. But where the gas comes from is critical, because he said there's 30 connection points along the way.
Along which part of the way?
Well, from the Tennessee line existing.
In PA?
I'm not sure. But there's a lot that are going to be picked. Yeah, I would guess they'd have to be, because they're not picking up any new gas in New York.
Right.
So it's all in Pennsylvania.
It's all Pennsylvania.
30 connection points from the Tennessee to there. And what that tells me is those 30 points will be feeding gas into this line. Some of them can be from another pipeline where it's already processed gas.
Yeah.
And some of them can be gas coming out of the ground that has to be processed in that area. So they're going to need more and more compressor stations for this pipeline.
In what area, you think? All along the line, or just
where the line is and who bought capacity? I don't know.
And they haven't sold capacity yet?
And they're not saying what their plans are. All they're talking about is this narrow focus of a pipeline.
Right.
Okay? So they're not focused, they're not interested on where the gas comes from. It's not their job. You know, it's just they're only here to talk about the building of this pipeline, which doesn't involve processing or anything else.
Yeah, supposedly.
It's opening the door for all those things. That's the difference.
Hi there.
How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So you're keeping busy?
Sure.
You have the tenacity. I can't believe. I mean, I would not be able to do what you do. I just don't have that.
No, it's only one beer.
That grip, and you won't let go. And thank you. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. I do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So, what do you think so far? Have you learned anything worthwhile?
She's registered for Al Robbins' gun class.
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good for you.
No, I've learned. You're right. My house is back further, but I'm not telling them that.
Right. Don't let them know.
No.
That's still too close. I can't.
But those pictures, yes, are totally incorrect.
Is it in front of your tree line or behind? It is?
Yes, they're going to take down my trees.
Here, look. This is her tree line. This is what's really disturbing.
But isn't the Constitution doing that too?
Yes.
So what do you have? Double?
Take down the rest of them. Well, I'm going to have like.
So it's a wider. How many more feet for the second line? How many more feet is she going to lose with the second line, you think?
Each one is 50 permanent feet.
So that's like 100 feet maybe at least.
That's the local, I'm the damage prevention guy. If you want to.
So what happened? Did they ask you to sign yet for the?
No, he didn't send me any paperwork. He said,
that's good.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do this time? Do you think you want to fight him or?
Oh yeah, I'm going to go to the. I'm starting with the FERC. I want to go. I signed up FERC when I'm going to get FERC information, and I got stuff to.
Oh, good.
So I can speak at the FERC.
At the FERC hearings?
Yes. That's what I want to do. I want to make sure I'm at the FERC hearings because once you, which I found out too late, once you miss the FERC hearings.
I know, but we've gone to a bunch of FERC hearings and they approve basically everything because they meet the requirements. They always meet the requirements. The only thing we can do is somehow get people not to sign and stop the pipeline. If we can get more and more people not to sign and resist and delay them, then they.
They have opportunities for that. Hello.
Hi.
They have opportunities for that too. Just like over here. Oh, what do you got? I'm a photographer too.
Are you?
Yeah. Is that a power shot?
Yeah, Canon.
Canon?
Yeah.
Nikon.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. Do you do any wildlife photography?
What kind?
Wildlife.
Oh, sometimes, but I do mostly gas development, what's happening in our county. So I do a lot of videos besides photographs.
It's nice getting outside and doing the photography. That's what drew me in. I was a birder. I am a birder. So
I do some birding too. I go to groups,
Are you?
Yeah, we have groups.
Do you do any of the Audubons?
No, we have groups here in our county. This is Susquehanna County.
I'm going this weekend to Hawk Mountain.
And where is that?
It's in the middle of Pennsylvania.
Oh.
You haven't heard about that?
No.
All the hawks do the migrating through here.
Oh.
They migrate twice a year.
Just get your name. So what is your specialty actually?
Well, beyond birding.
Beyond birding, yeah. Besides being a birder, yeah.
Yeah, no, I really do enjoy the outdoors.
So they have all kinds of hawks over there?
Yeah, Google it. Hawk Mountain is amazing.
I'll have to look it up.
I'm from Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, what part?
Do you know where Bucks County is?
Yeah,
you do?
I do. It's southern, southeast, yeah.
I'm from Bensalem. My mom's still in Bensalem.
Yeah, I know there.
Have you ever been to New Hope?
Yes, I've been to New Hope, yeah.
Beautiful.
It is, yeah.
Have you been to
it's an upscale area.
The Washington's Crossing area, like the park there?
Something like that, yeah.
Amazing. You got to see some of the wood ducks are over there. They're the ones that are up in the trees. It's absolutely gorgeous. Well, nice to meet you. What's your name?
I'm Vera.
Hi, Vera.
Scroggins, yeah. I'm here.
Vera Scroggins.
Right.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Alex.
So Christine was just telling me.
What was she telling us? Anything good that we should know?
So there's a window on either side of 81. It's 4 miles long that they're looking to site a 32,000 horsepower compressor, and it'll be combustion instead of electric.
It'll be combustion, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's emissions.
The exhaust, yeah.
We have 41 compressor stations in our county. Would you like 41 in Bucks County? Would you like that?
Right before you mentioned that before me.
Yeah. Would you like that in Bucks County?
Actually, there are some in Bucks County. Do you know where Lambertville is on the New Jersey
but do you have
side?
that's New Jersey. I know, but that's New Jersey.
Pennsylvania, because I moved away from here right before they came.
From where?
No, tell me more about that.
Yeah, we have 41 stations. Number 41 just got approved, and so we're surrounded. Every 2 to 3 miles, and that's where they actually process the gas. They don't just compress it. So there's all kinds of tons. They dehydrate. There's tons of emissions besides constant noise.
That's interesting. There's another woman over here. She explained all of that to me.
Yeah, she knows it. No, I know her. Yeah. Yeah, she's.
Thank you for sharing that.
Here's my point, and you can hear too.
Yeah, the point is.
This compressor is electric. And
one there, okay.
And what they did was
That's station 323.
This is Lackawaxen.
Right?
Yeah, this is Lackawaxen. Right?
And where is Lackawaxen?
It's in Pike County.
Pike County.
So I think you're pointing out a compressor station. I'm sorry. Can you say that again about the power plant? Because I'm not familiar with the power plant.
This is a compressor station. It's powered by electric. Okay, and what Kinder Morgan did in Pike County was the township supervisors asked that Kinder Morgan, actually before that it was El Paso, to submit themselves to the local zoning, and they agreed to do a setback from the community, the road, so it was set back deeper in the woods. And they ran it on electric, and the way they did it was from Hawley over here, there's the Susquehanna Roseland power line comes up and then goes down across the Delaware Water Gap, and they co-located a high voltage power line in the Tennessee pipeline right-of-way to run it on electric, and they ran a spur. It was like a short spur from the main high voltage. And I point that out because, you know, we're only over here, you know, so like the difference, the way that the Pike County was able to, their local government was given, I think, more respect, you know, and by El Paso at the time, when this was getting upgraded in 2013. That's not too long ago. And then Kinder Morgan, you know, is proposing all these combustion-fired compressors. When you have access, soon there's plenty of high voltage. Williams is doing it. I mean, your direct competitor in our county, you know, just south of your Tennessee line, is running their compressors on electric. So
I'm pretty sure you were saying the same thing earlier, that you feel like the compressors should be fueled by electric. However, what we're saying is the fuel is going over there in order to create the electric. Right? I think we're understanding each other, right?
What I'm saying though is there's exhaust when you burn the gas in the turbine.
Right, and there's exhaust at a power plant, and there's exhaust at the compressor. So you're saying trade one for the other.
I mean, I would say that if these communities want to have these power plants, right? The electric grid, you know, communicates to Pennsylvania, and if we were running our
your glasses.
Thank you.
Which ones do I have on today? I'm sorry.
It's okay. I want
to make sure we were talking about the same thing.
Since we have,
what I heard you say is if these people want a power plant, is that what you said, or do you mean if these people want power, electricity?
If they want natural gas power plants, which there's more coming online than just these. And these are relatively new era. These are combined cycle. A lot of these are combined cycle. They came on in Massachusetts because I've been reading a lot about this, right? So what they did was they're retiring their coal plants and bringing natural gas plants online and expecting Susquehanna County to have combustion-fired compressors and drilling and all these industrialized processes in our county, where they're kind of living the high life over here with electricity they get to have, you know, for, you know, relatively cheap because it's natural gas.
What were you saying about they put in a new electric grid though, or they're going to? You said another high power transmission line.
Pennsylvania Power and Light last year announced that in Bradford County, attached to the Moxie Energy plant in Towanda, where you'll be tomorrow, right? You'll see it in White Sox.
Correct.
It's under construction. You'll see it, the big cranes. In White Sox, that power plant is going to have a new high voltage line that they're going to seek eminent domain for across Susquehanna, down Wayne into Pike, and down into New York City, right? And so you'll have a brand new high voltage line, which you already have in our county. But if you hooked into that high voltage line, that's probably going to co-locate with your Tennessee pipeline. I'm sure that somebody at your company probably knows about it because they probably approached you for your right-of-way because it's wide enough for new power lines. So PPL builds this power line. It passes by your compressor station, right? Like it's not far from, it'll be like right here. So if you ran this compressor station with electric, it would eliminate all the exhaust from that compressor. And it protects some of our air quality, you know, it protects, I mean...
What do you think the difference would be about the emissions that it's going to produce to create the electricity there versus the emissions that is going to be over here from the fire...
at this point...
Natural gas fire.
At this point, that power plant's coming online, right? It's going to be generating 900 megawatts a year, right? That 900 megawatts is going to go to New York City right now. And we're paying all of the external costs of that by losing our air quality, having
that's my question for you. For the emissions of this power plant, how do you think that's going to compare to the emissions of this, right? Do you feel like it's even?
Well, I would say the power is generated anyway. That power, both turbines at that White Sox plant will be running full blast, 900 megawatts a year.
But the usage of that, let's say 2% of it would have been used for this. Do you think that 2% emissions that would not be here because it's going to be run by electric, do you feel like that 2% would be equivalent to what this had to work extra for in order to produce that 2%? I'm wondering if you did the comparison.
It's not working extra. It's going to be on. It's like on or off.
It's got to produce electricity. That's not.
Right.
It's not going to go there. But I'm just wondering if you have a comparison on emissions.
Well, what I'm saying is, if that power plant's going to run and it's going to send power to New York, right, New York City, and they're not going to do offshore wind or any other kind of electric, and they're just going to expect Northeast Pennsylvanians to give them power because that's really what they expect, without any of the drilling or anything like that they don't want, right? Then our compressor should run on electric before we send the electricity.
I hear all that except the trade-off on the emissions. I'm not keeping up.
Yeah, right. Can you say?
Or this emission,
right. Does this one have more? Will this have more or less?
If you don't run this on electric, you have emissions from a power plant and the compressor in our community.
But whatever this, I'm making up a number, but let's say it uses 2% of whatever this is.
I understand.
This area is not getting that 2% worth, and it has to do more to make that up. So for either here or here, I would want to see the difference in the emissions.
It would be one less. It would be the compressor station would have 0 exhaust. And then the power plant would still have the same exhaust, so you'd have one less.
That's where there's got to be the comparison. If you're using up more electricity here, you can't just say, "Oh, I'm not burning as much."
But that power plant is going to blast 900 megawatts across the power line to New York City.
Let's use your scenario. What if you had a bunch of and every compressor is
existing, right? The black. So there's 2 there running side by side, right?
I'm saying we should, if we're generating electricity.
We could have one if.
How many export terminals they built along the East Coast?
Right, so we can have more pipelines after this one. And right now you have 3 going.
But you aren't going to come through until the price goes up. Once the price goes up, boom. So right now, once the price goes up, right now the price is relatively low.
Thank goodness, yeah.
And they're not. But once the price goes up, guess what?
What? There'll be more pipelines.
Yes,
there'll be more.
They're going to want more. Yes.
Sure, you're going to be surrounded. You're going to be like a refinery, like a whole hub, like they have in Philadelphia. People are complaining in Philadelphia. I just read an article today. They reactivated this whole hub.
Oh, and they're expanding that too.
Yeah, they're expanding Philly. Did you read that the refineries?
Back in oil.
And then people are complaining about the air now, the smelly air.
Philly?
Yeah. Philly, yeah.
They're expanding it.
So the people that live near it are having problems.
Yeah.
So hopefully the gas price stays low enough so that they can't continue.
Damage prevention supervisor locally.
Damage prevention?
Yes, basically I deal with a one-call system, which is basically call before you dig.
Oh, that type. You're part of that damage?
The 811, call before you dig, all that type of thing. We basically make sure that hopefully nobody hits us. Public awareness.
Oh, you
and
mean
stuff
other
like
people that
yes.
are digging, not so much you?
Yes. Third-party people.
Third-party people.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Well,
that's basically my function.
That's it? So you don't know anything else that we can ask you?
What else
how
you
dangerous is this pipeline since we got to live near it?
I'll tell
what
you
are the chances of it exploding and killing all of us?
Nil. Almost 0 to nil.
0 to nil?
I'll tell you what.
Can I get it in writing from you, like, you know?
No, you ain't going to get it in writing because, things happen. But I'd put it this way. If I was going to live next to one,
yeah,
I'd live next to mine.
You would live next to your Kinder Morgan pipeline?
Yes.
You wouldn't live next to some others as much as Kinder Morgan?
You're right.
What about a Williams pipeline?
I don't know enough about them, but the reason I would live next to mine is I know what we do with it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm comfortable with it. I'm very comfortable with it.
Do you know about any other pipelines?
I don't know about the other systems. No, I don't know how they keep theirs or what they do.
Right.
No, I do know how we
Have
keep
you
ours.
seen a list of all the Kinder Morgan leaks and explosions over the past few years? You've seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Yes. Talk to you just one moment. Yes.
Sorry, one more.
Taping everybody. That's what I do. I'm a taping specialist.
Well, next time when you go to tape.
Your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Nice to see something. Don't tread on us. No fracking. Thank you for coming to support us in Pennsylvania. I appreciate it. And this is for pipelines on top of here. No pipes. That's great. I'll hold it with you too. How about that? We do it together and we can walk around. How's that? Did you come with somebody or what? Did you come? No more lies, right? So we're trying to get answers. Huh? Oh, it's a song or what?
No, it's a poem from Dylan Thomas.
Oh, okay. And it's do not be gentle.
Do not go gentle
into the
that
night.
good night. Rage against the dying of the light.
Ah. Good job.
How are you doing?
Good. Good. Trying to get, some answers. He wants a picture too. Let him have a nice picture.
I already met most of them. Give him a copy of this.
Yeah. So we can. So did you come with somebody? You said?
I came by myself. I'm on my way
did?
to see my sister.
Nice to see you.
I'll be here for your hearing.
Hi. This is the Ferg people.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't.
Talk to the project manager. And let him know what it is.
I want to see the rubber stamp.
Yeah, right. You can ask him for it.
And explain to them the alternative route.
Yeah, we can copy the emails that we've already sent.
Okay, that's fine.
On May 4th.
Here, I'll use the pen.
So the compressor station that they're going to use or build, Kinder Morgan.
It should be within this corridor on either side of 80. Oh, sorry, that's 81. As 81 goes up, makes this bend on either side. So this is.
So it's above New Milford.
Right.
Okay. So it's closer to the New York border.
Let me zoom in here. It has.
Barbara came from New York. Did you meet her?
Oh, this is Barbara?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Barbara. Have we met? I'm Alex.
Like the new pipe is only within a state, it still involves interstate transmission because there's other facilities like you mentioned that may be being built that facilitates interstate transmission. That's a great question. If you have any concerns about that, that would be a good comment to say.
I say all of that in every comment period for all the different pipelines, and I never get a response, and it's never addressed in the environmental assessment. I mean, I understand you guys have your job to do, and it's mostly the rules and regulations that are passed down to you. But I feel
file that comment in response to the draft EIS. There's comments that come in pre-filing, there's comments that come in scoping, and the FERC attempts to address all of those comments. However, what you'll find when we file a draft environmental impact statement, if you look at an appendix, each individual comment gets a specific response.
Yeah,
so if you were to file that comment about, is it FERC jurisdictional or should it be kicked to the states, you would get a paragraph or two or something giving you a specific explanation of why it was FERC jurisdictional.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we'll see. I mean, that's Atlantic Sunrise. This one, I noticed my dad still lives there. He's in El Paso. They're formed before they acquired them. Was this company? They submitted themselves to the township zoning. They just voluntarily did, and they asked the township supervisor. Well, the supervisors told them that what can we do, and they came up with further setbacks into the woods for noise, and they co-located a spur from the Susquehanna Roseland power line from Pauley to the compressor. And they know about this. These are the people who probably, and they even know my name, and I know they worked with me on this when I made those comments 2 years ago. And they agreed 2 years ago, 2013, to build an electric compressor similar in horsepower 2 counties over from this one. And they're the biggest pipeline company in the country. Kinder Morgan, right? They can afford, their stocks are up, doing great. They can afford to do electric because we do have 41 compressors in this county. And the gas is sending to Boston, and most of the people here are Yankees fans, and I hate everything. That's how they picked the worst thing to pitch. Oh, Boston needs it. But we bear the burden of all the infrastructure. Boston gets the gas, and they get the power plants. The electric is already coming online at this one. It's coming right past this compressor. There's really no excuse for them to not run this compressor at 32,000 horsepower on electric. And if you look at EPA Natural Gas Star, I'll file all this in the comments. EPA Natural Gas Star program has best practices for those compressors, and the biggest emissions reduction is with electric motors. And it saves the money if the gas price is $4. Right now it's $2.33 or $2.35. If it gets up to $4, which it will if they put all these things on,
at $4 a thousand cubic feet, they pay off the price of installation because they're not burning the gas in the lines, like the combustion. They're sending it to market. So even though over time they save money doing it, and it's less maintenance cost. They said 10% less maintenance costs on electric compressor. So I'll point it to you. You know, like draw a line, because that also EPA Natural Gas Star program best practices like become regulations, and the January 1st ones on the condensate tank rule, the vapor recovery units, they have flaring regulations, things like that. That all came from the EPA Natural Gas Star. So in the next 10 years, I can imagine that EPA, that electric motor requirement will become a requirement for all these compressors, and they'll have to gut them and put electric motors in whenever they want to replace or do anything like that. So I think it should be required now. It's not regulation, it's not rules, it's not statute, but I mean it's the right thing to do. And if they can put electric in this one, it's so close to the other ones too that are combustion. So these communities get to
definitely follow that comment. That's something to look at as part of our alternatives analysis. Alternatives is not just routing; it can be like electric versus natural gas fired.
Yeah, and the response I got though from environmental assessment on the Columbia Pipeline East Side Expansion project, and I had to go to it. We're in an appeal right now with you guys. Like we're requesting a stay. It's going to go to DC Circuit for a whole segmentation issue.